Good morning. So I want to show you the one-click automation or magic button, or I think as it's probably going to be called, the workflow generator and workflow association. Couple prerequisites. You're going to need Promapp, you're going to need Nintex Workflow Cloud, and you need to have your processes published. So draft process will not open up the request automation button that you see here in the top right. Now anything that you do automate is going to appear here on the workflow list. So you're going to get a true up of everything that's been created in that underlying Nintex Workflow Cloud instance. Obviously this is a development asset, so a couple of things probably don't quite join up yet. But it's going to tell you who actually designed the workflow, what the start event was, any other associated processes, and it's going to actually link you off to that Nintex Workflow Cloud instance as well. So let's kick off. We'll have a look at a process in Promapp. We're going to look at this return a pool car after use. So got a process, there is a sub-process here, scheduling a company pool car for business use, but I want to turn this one into a workflow. So what's the process? It's request automation. And the first thing it's going to ask me to do is select a workflow start event. So as I scroll down, you'll see that kind of matches up to the workflow start events that you can create in an Nintex workflow site. So let's say this is perhaps a form that gets filled in by somebody at the company garage when a company car is returned to say Joe Bloggs has returned it. So let's create that form, and then let's look at the workflow mapping options as well. So what it's going to do is it's going to look through that workflow, look at the tiles and figure out if something in there is not quite right. No system tags created, it can't match up an action, and what it's going to give you is it's going to give you the option to match that. So I can scroll down through the various parts of the process and add specific Nintex Workflow Cloud actions from within Promapp. So rather than have to drag drop it at the other end, as an end user, I'm actually getting to figure this out. So let's say the very first thing is a task. I'm going to add this assign a task. It sort of picked that up. But maybe the second thing I have to do is actually add something into SharePoint. So I'm going to scroll down here, find my SharePoint Online option, and create an item. And then maybe the third thing is send a notification to that person that's returned the car to say, hey, thanks for returning the car. So what I'm going to do is go to my communication and simply send an email. And we do that for the rest of the workflow and then create. It's going to send off that automation request to the synced up Nintex Workflow Cloud instance under the hood. And it's going to tell you that you've created a workflow, which is awesome. You'll receive an email when the workflow has been published by the workflow designer. Okay to that. And let's jump to Nintex Workflow Cloud and do a quick refresh. Got a return a pool car after use. It links back to the Promapp process from within here. So we're sort of joining the dots. So if my designer developer decides he wants to have a quick look at that, we can open up that process. It's going to tell me who requested it, which user it was. It's going to give me a mail to as well. So I'm going to be able to mail straight out to that person as a quick link. It's actually launched Outlook in another window here. It's going to tell my start event. I designated that start event. It comes in as a draft. We don't want to be publishing things straight off the bat. That's how we get that sort of unverified and non-compliant sprawl. But now if I open up my workflow, you see I've got my workflows already created. It's matching all those different tiles up. If I need to add anything, I can obviously just drag in what needs to be added to the actual workflow. So I've got those options there as well. But it's matched up all of the underlying actions that I've created in Promapp when it sort of didn't match up the actions correctly. Cool. Thanks for watching.